Welcome all to the Weekly Outlook. Bernie here from EWPRO. Looking at the DXY on the daily, like I've mentioned over the last few weeks, there's no real clear direction on the daily. There's a few different scenarios. This can be a B wave in here, and we get a C down for an A, B, C. Then we get a larger A, B, C. There's a running or expanding flat or a regular flat before we get a larger A, B, C. Or this is an A, B, C, and that's the end of wave C, and we go up, break the top. That's the second scenario. On the H4, we got 5 down and 3 up. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we got an A, B, C. We lost all that bullish divergence, so I was just looking for a correction in here before we get more downside. We now, I'll double check to see if we do have bearish divergence. I believe we do. We do have bearish divergence on the H4 in the C up. So we're just going to see if this is over in here. At this stage, it's unclear. We do have a bearish divergence on the H1 here. But in saying that, we also have a bull hidden here. So this may be a flat as an A, B, C, and then you get an A, B, C as your flat before you get the A, B, C, finishing off the move. If you're looking for the buy, you'd really want to be careful around this 100 fib here. You may get a big bounce off of that. If I just quickly go down to the M15 to see if there's any buy setups. We do have bullish divergence on the M15. So the people in my group know how to trade this. If you're unsure how to trade it, by all means, join the group. So AU on the daily, again, just like DXY, there's a couple of different scenarios here. I had it as like an A, B, C, and then we get this A, B, C. We had this nice impulse up in here, a very deep pullback though. So again, there's real no direction. On the H4, we only got the 3 up in here. We've got that WXY. And we sort of have these 5 down in here as well, with all that bullish divergence. So I'm looking for buys for at least like an A, B, C. On the H1, we do have a higher high here. So there was a trade here. There's a flat here. So most people that trade this would more than likely be in it on the lower time frames down here somewhere. But if we just go down to the M15 quickly, we are starting to get bearish divergence on the M15. So yeah, it's going to be risky to buy. The only way you can really buy is to look for a correction in here. You'd really want a bull hidden in here to buy. You want something to buy in there. If it doesn't give it to you, it'll just, if it doesn't give you the setup to buy, it'll more than likely just fall over. So again, if you're unsure of how to trade these, by all means join the group. GU on the daily, there's, like I've been saying over the last few weeks, you know, with all of them, on the daily, there is no real clear direction now. This over here does look very much bullish. I'm looking for that A, B, C. This wave C up here did go and break the ending point of wave A. So that technically could be over and we could come down, break the low. but it's looking very much bullish, like I've been talking about over the last few weeks. Looking very bullish up the top here. On the H4, you'll see what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a complex correction. We got 5 up here. Now I'm looking at like A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. So I'm looking for one up here and another one down to finish off a 333 complex correction. It may end in the wave Y, or we get another 3 here, and then we get 1, 2, 3, or 5 down in here in a wave Z as a complex correction 335 pattern. So you're really just scalping this at this stage. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at. You know, we are starting to get this wave C up here to finish off this B wave. Like I'm looking at an A expanding flat as a B and looking for a C up. It's very choppy in here on the lower time frame, so it is quite risky. You'd have to look for a setup on the lower time frames to buy. But just go down quickly. We don't have any bearish divergence on the M15, so you would be looking, well, I would be looking for a bull hidden in here, and then a buy set up to buy. Again, if you're unsure of how to trade this, because this is a very risky trade, trading this C up in here. If you're unsure how to trade this, by all means join the group. I'm sure you'll learn a lot, especially how to get good entries and high probability trades. EU on the daily. Again, I've been looking at this flat in here for months now. Overall, I'm looking at an A, B, C. This wave C, just like GU, went and broke the ending point of wave A. So this wave C may be over. But it's looking corrective for more upside. So we're looking at this flat here. On the H4, I have got it as 5 up. It doesn't matter which way you look at it, whether you look at it as 5 up and larger correction, or you can look at it as the flat. It doesn't matter. We're still looking at the same direction as a buy. I'm only looking for a buy at this stage. So on the H1, we did get a nice impulse up correction, and it's gone up and broken the top if we have a look on M15. So really now you'd be looking for a correction in here. You can see the flat here, like an A, 1, 2, 3 in your B wave, and then you get the A, B, C as your, well, this is a regular flat here. And so I'm looking for an A, B, C. So you'd be going down to the lower time frames again, you know, looking for a correction in here to buy. And really, it's only just a scalp. I don't think we're going to reverse from here, but you never know. And new on the daily, again, like the others, there's no real clear direction. But I'll be looking for an A, B, and a C up at this stage. This can come down here, break that low, and we still get an A, B, C. So again, like I said, there's no real clear direction on the daily. We're looking for the direction on the lower time frame, H4. And we got 5 up here. Then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down in here with all this bullish divergence. So again, we're looking for buys This is quite, I mean, not really. There's no real trade on this. It's looking like a larger correction. Sort of got like 1, 2, 3 up in here. Very deep pullback to this. This is looking rather choppy as well. So if you're going to trade it, you'd just be, well, I mean, it'd only be a scalp, and you'd be looking for a little correction in here to buy, just to go and break that top. You definitely want to be at break even at the break of that top. UY, oh sorry, GY. We're looking at this extended wave in here, extended wave Y. So we got a WX, extended wave Y. So I was looking for a larger correction in here before we go up and break the top. We never got that large correction. We got a nice impulse down, but then it's come up and broke that top. So I'm only looking for sells up here. There's all that bearish divergence. H4, wave Z's broke, hit the first target, that 123.6. Second target's at 161.8. We have all that bearish divergence. So, you know, really not looking for buys up here. On the H1, we got the 5 up as well. With the bearish divergence, there is a bull hidden here. So really got to be careful. This may just be very deep pullback here, and give us 3 down, like 1, 2, 3 here, or this goes up and breaks the top for that bull hidden to play out. Again, really risky the way I teach traders to trade. You'd really need to learn that before you attempt to buy this. So yeah, really looking for sells. If I just go back there quickly, you know, I would be more interested in a sell. We look at the M15 quickly. We got a WXY. So we got some sort of A, B, C in here as a flat. And we got that bearish divergence. So again, I'd be looking for a nice impulse down, breaking that low, giving us a correction, and then looking for downside myself. You know, at these highs, that's what I'd be doing. UY on the daily. So I was looking for that A, B, C. We did get a C down. It had that bull hidden, and this is becoming very deep, possibly to go and break that top, like I've mentioned over the last few weeks. Wouldn't be surprised if this does go up, break that top, and if it does, I'd still be looking at this as the B wave, and then we're looking at it A, B, C as a running or expanding flat before we get more upside. So again, you know, it's probably too late to buy. You know, we had quite a few opportunities to buy in this correction here, or this one here. Now it's just remove that and that. We're getting bearish divergence here. So you're really only just scalping on the lower time frames just to go and break this top. Yeah, quite risky now that we got that bearish divergence on the H4 to buy. On the H1, we got all that bearish divergence as well. We do have a bull hidden here, so this may go up and break that top. Again, like GY, I'd be more interested in a sell, you know. But yeah, we do have a bull hidden. If you know how to trade those bull hiddens, you probably could give it a go if it fits the rules. The CAD, very difficult. It's looking for this like W, X, Y, X2 and the Z up. We got a Z up, but it never went and broke the ending point of wave Y. So I've been looking at this A, B, C in here, this flat, for a possible A, B, C. We have got that C up now, and we're getting all the bearish divergence. So again, very risky to buy. Well, we'll have a look at the H1, and like I suspected, we're getting a bull hidden in here. So we may get another one up in here for like a W, X, Y, X2 and a Z up, ending diagonal in the C wave. Again, you really need to know how to trade these bull hiddens correctly, or else it could be dangerous for you. Looking for the sell here and even the buy, but we have certain rules to get into these, to confirm the hidden and all the rest of it, which I won't be going into on YouTube. So yeah, it can go either way. We have a bull hidden here, so if you've got a buy set up, you could look for a buy to go and break the top, or you wait for the sell, wait for this low to be broken, taking out the possible bull hidden, and then correction, and then you'd be looking for downside. The Swissy on the daily, this is looking more impulsive now, this last wave, but we got that A, B, C, bounced off the higher time frame trend line. Didn't quite get down to the 100 Feb in the C wave, but that's fine. This is looking more impulsive, but we do have a bear hidden here. So there's nothing to say that this won't fall over and go and break that low again. Or we get a very deep pullback to this impulse here and just get a C up like an A, B, C with a deep retracement. H4, we got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. We lost the bearish divergence. So I'd just be looking for a larger correction and another one up. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a deep correction, like I mentioned on the high time frame. Wouldn't be surprised if this is a deep correction back to the 78.6 or even maybe the 90 Fib retracement. The H1, I believe we do have bearish. No, we don't have bearish divergence on the H1 either. Sort of looking at this, if I zoom out here, I'm looking at this as a complex correction, as you can probably see with the count that I've got on here. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This can be either a 1, 2, 3, and that's it, or 5 as a 3, 3, 5 complex correction. At this stage, I'd be looking at a fifth one up because we have a bull hidden here. So I'm looking at this as a complex correction. It may be finished here. I'm not convinced it's finished here, but yeah, overall I am looking at it as a complex correction to come down and possibly break that low, or at least give us a very deep pullback back to the 78.6 or 90 Fib. So again, you'll have to be careful trading, because at this stage there's a bull hidden with no bearish divergence. So yeah. So you'll either be looking for a scalp in here to just go and break that top, which is not really something I'd do. Or you're waiting for a sell, nice impulse down, a correction for the sell for at least 3 down. More than likely it'll be 5. Like I said, more than likely we'll get a very deep correction in here, or it goes and breaks that low. EG on the daily. I'm looking at this last bit here. I'm looking at this A, B extended wave C. So we got a W, X, Y, X2 and a Z down in here. It hasn't gone and broken the low. So I would be staying out of this, like I'm telling the traders, until this low here is broken. That may have actually been broken now. It has actually been broken now over the last couple of days. So you can actually look for a buy on this now. We've got that C down. Well, the wave Z in the C. And we're getting all this bullish divergence here as well. All that bullish divergence, we're getting a flag here. So this will be a really good opportunity for those that trade EG. Got a nice impulse up. So we got a nice impulse up. Looking at an A, B, C. You could look to buy this. Definitely could look to buy this. If you get any bullish setup, you could either put your stop there or under the low that you took it at. But yeah, any buy setup, you could definitely look for a buy for at least an A, B, C, and more than likely it'll turn motive and you'll get 5 out of it at least on the H1. So there might be a good opportunity there for those that trade that pair. WTI, there's 2 scenarios here on the daily, like I've mentioned. We got that nice impulse here. I was just looking for a correction in here to buy for a C up. Instead, we got very deep correction to this. So there's 2 scenarios here, and more than likely, I mean, I'm sort of looking at this as a possible B wave. Then we get a C down for an A, B, C, and then we get like an A, B, C as a running or expanding flat, or just a regular flat if this low doesn't get broken in this C down. Yeah, so that's the scenario that I'm sort of looking at, because this does look rather corrective in here. So I am looking at this as a B wave, and we get a C down to finish off this B wave, and then we get the A, B, C. Nothing wrong with buying in here though. Like I've mentioned, we're looking for this C up. So if you're on that, it's just about at the 100 fib. So you'd have to be very careful keeping tight stops if you're looking to buy this. We did get the 5 down in here. And then we got the a B, and we're getting that C up. We are getting bearish divergence as well. So again, you'd have to be, you're really just scalping, scalping a buy. There's already bearish divergence on the H1. So, there was a buy opportunity in here last week. Not last week, the week before that I mentioned last weekly outlook. You may have got a little bit out of that, and then if you didn't get out, well, it would have taken you out at break even, more than likely. Gold. So we're just looking at this last section here, really. Looking at an A, a B, and looking for a C up, and then we get an A, B, C to finish off this B wave, and then we get the A, B, C, possibly up to that first weekly target, that 123.6, the 161.8's up here for the second target on the weekly. So this one isn't giving us any buy setups just yet. Like I mentioned on the daily, I'm looking at this as a B wave. You can see how choppy this is. Looking for an A, B, C. So if you get any buy opportunity, you definitely can look for the buy. Was a buy setup on this actually. More on the M15. I'd just go down to the M15. So we had this flat in here, an A, a B, and a C. This is your flat here. You get an A, B, C. So if you get a bullish flag in here, or even a correction on the lower time frames, you can then look to buy. Again, I'll show you how to trade these with a very high probability trade in my group. Silver. Again, I'll just look at this last piece here. Looking at an A, B, and a C. In here, I'm looking at an A, B, and a C up as a possible flat before we get an A, B, C to finish off this B wave, and then we get that larger C up. It didn't quite play out like I was looking at. I was looking at this like A, B here. We had this flat here, so I was looking at 1, 2, 3 down, which is still the low. And then I was looking for this C up to finish off this B wave. We did get a bit of a C up here, but we had that bear hidden, and we got a very deep pullback. So now I just get an A, B, C before get a larger C down. So again, I'm still looking at all this as a B wave, as this B wave, and then more than likely we get a C down before we get more upside. To trade this now, you'd be waiting for a correction in here. Ideally, to get the risk reward, you'd want a 50 fib retrace in here and buy. Again, I show you how to trade these with a very high probability trade. You will not see the way I teach people to trade anywhere else, nowhere else. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's taken off. We were looking for that. We had that big impulse here. So we're looking for a correction. I was just looking for an ABC in here before we look for the buys. There was a buy opportunity in here, of course, like I mentioned in that weekly outlook a few weeks back. On the H4, we're getting that wave Y up like I showed last week. Nothing's changed since last week. We just got more upside. We're still in this wave Y. So you really have to wait for this X2 before you look for buys. If you don't wait for this and look for buys up here, more than likely you'll get burnt. So wait for that X2. Ideally, we get a bull hidden in here. Then you can look to buy. Other than that, you'd be looking for a sell, but you'd be selling in a correction. So yeah, better to stay out of the market and just wait for that correction and then look for that buy. S&P 500, we got that W, X, Y, X2 and Z up. Z up, we lost all the bearish divergence, so there is no bearish divergence on this. So I'm just looking for a larger correction and more upside. Again, I wouldn't be looking for buys up here. Wait for the larger correction and then we can load up on the buys again. H4, we're just getting a lot of bearish divergence, H1, we got the 5 up on the H1 as well in this wave Z. So we got that W, X, Y, X2, and we got that Z up. All that bearish divergence. We got a bull hidden here. So we got a very deep pullback back to the 90 fib. So you'd be looking for a sell. So as you can see, we got a very deep pullback back to the 90 fib. You'd be looking for the sell. I mean, we had that news out that spiked the market quite a bit on Friday. But, you know, this would have been your sell here. You got 3 up here. You'd be looking to sell that. So you'd more than likely be in the sell already if you do trade this. Now, you know, you'd be waiting for some sort of a sell setup to sell for that A, B, C, breaking that low. Then you'll have to be careful after that low's been broken. See if it turns motive or it's just a correction for another one up. AU 200 played out beautifully like we were looking at. We got the C up. We got that A, B, C. Hasn't got to the 100 fib. That's fine. H4, we got the 5 up, like we've been looking for. Had that bull hidden in here, so we're looking for that 5th one up. It hit the first target, that 123.6. The second target's that 161.8. It still may get there yet. Yeah, we're looking for this in here. We're looking for that A, B, C. We got that. We got a high. Look for your correction in here, just as a scalp. It's just a scalp. Definitely want to be a break even at the break of this top, and you know, ideally you'd be targeting that 161.8 as a second target. Yeah, but you definitely want to be a break even at the break of this top here, because you will be getting more bearish divergence more than likely. Looking at the FTSE, so like I've been saying for many weeks now, this is pretty much untradeable. I mean, you're just gambling in here. Wouldn't be surprised if we get some sort of an A, a B, a C in here before we get an A, B, C. You're pretty much just scalping the lower time frames. You can see how choppy this is. Yeah. I think, well, we did have a bull hidden here. So I wouldn't be surprised if that top gets broken. You'd probably be, it's extremely risky. You'd be looking for a correction in here to buy, just to break that top, basically. You'd definitely want to be a break even at the break of that top. And yeah, you'd be looking for a buy setup. What's it look like on the H1? So what I'd be looking for is possibly a 50 fib retrace here to get your risk reward, and then, you know, if you got the buy set up, can't go into the rules that we look at to buy, but yeah, you know, if you got a nice looking correction buy setup, you could look to buy just to break this top. How far above this top it goes is anyone's guess, really. You know, that's why I say you definitely want to be at break even at the break of that top. And lastly, the DAX on the daily. So I was looking for a larger C down in here for the A, B, C. We did get a C down, not as far as I would have liked, but then we had that nice impulse up. We're looking for the buy here. Very risky because it's broken all the highs. Broken the high over here. So now I dare say we'll be getting a lot of bearish divergence, and we're getting a lot of bearish divergence now. So, you know, you pretty much, you'd be staying out of the market at this stage. I wouldn't be looking for the buys. We've already looked for the buys, and we've got all the bearish divergence now. Even on the H1, I dare say we got the bearish divergence. So I'd be more interested in looking for a sell and taking a sell. On the H1, you probably could look for another one up. Like the others, you'd be looking for roughly a 50 pip retrace of this move here. Make sure it's looking very corrective before you buy. So the way I'd be looking at it now is look for a correction in here and another one up. And that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook. If you did, please hit the like button, share, subscribe. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.